Aaliyah in the house. In the tent. Under the tent.
Check. Okay. You wanna say something, Aaliyah?
Hi.
Crawford, you wanna say something?
Hello. I can't tell if it's picking up my...
Yeah, thanks.
Check.
Hello.
Alright, I'm gonna
start brewing a tea,
Okay.
and so this is what we're gonna have today. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so just... I've never seen that before.
It's like a frisbee.
yeah,
Like in person. This is so interesting to me.
we just boiled this water so it's hot. Everything ready.
So, like, tea is your thing.
Yeah, I actually started during quarantine, but
Really?
it's really become a passion.
I noticed. I was like, wow, this guy loves his tea.
He definitely does love his tea.
Maybe you'll put me on tea and I, like,
He just,
become addicted.
yeah, I mean, our whole hall right
He
now.
did to me.
Yeah.
He sent me a tea kit over the summer,
No
and
way.
like I just drank it all the time.
I love that.
Perfect.
Wow, look at the magic.
It's the water. Heavenly.
Heavenly.
Alright, Croft, I'm gonna get you. So you're...
So is there tea etiquette that I need to know?
No,
I'm
just...
drinking?
I mean, nah, just enjoy the tea.
Just enjoy the tea.
Yeah, I mean, tea is definitely has a lot of history, but my approach to tea is very loose,
Right.
and
And so what got you into it over the quarantine? Or have you always kind of been into it and then like...
no, I just got into it, but it's mainly because of the whole aspect and the ritual.
Right.
It's like very mindful process,
Yeah.
and I think that it's just the way we are perceived, the way tea is perceived right now is completely, like, I just feel like it kind of does tea injustice.
Right.
So I would love to, hopefully this becomes more of a culture, starting, just from campus and students.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what he's trying to do with the tea club as well, just like
Yeah, we have a
trying to
tea club.
normalize it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna join the tea club. Wait,
Yes.
so what goes on in the tea club? Like...
It's like this, and then, because of this semester we can't actually hold in-person meetings.
Right.
We're gonna have a lot more of online stuff. For example, we're gonna have expert tea panels where people from within the tea world and also professors at Wake who are also interested in tea culture, who have done research, will be here to present their stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a regular process you go through, or...
You're watching it right now.
I know, but like, what would you call this? It's like...
Oh yes. So this is the so this specific tea is style we're brewing is gongfu cha, which is Chinese tea ceremony.
Yeah.
And the word ceremony is used very loosely because it's not like spiritual. It could be spiritual, but like it's mainly just to brew the tea and like enjoy it with your friends and in good company. But I guess so. Gongfu actually means time and effort, and cha means tea. So like you're brewing your tea with time and effort, and I think that's a huge part of like, especially our current stage.
Yeah.
We have so much time, and we need to slow down and reflect.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess that's this whole point of this podcast is to capture the essence of that.
don't know, it's just like interesting. After watching some of yours, I was like, oh wow, like
I really
tea.
tried this.
So are we gonna start drinking soon? I was like, I'll keep it on until.
Oh, yeah.
So it can be like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this.
And then as you keep drinking, I'll obviously observe your teacup and then brew more tea for you
Okay, thank you.
and us. Yes, so how about we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So welcome, Aaliyah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so great to have you under this tent outside, social distanced, on Wake Forest campus
Yeah.
with my co-host Crawford.
Yep.
So, the tea that we're brewing right now,
It's so nice. It's just refreshing.
yeah, it's and then like, ironically, it's like super hot outside, but we're under the shade, and this tea just slaps.
Yeah, it does. It actually does.
But yeah, so this, I'll introduce the tea first. So like,
Wasn't I supposed to drink it?
no, you
Oh,
drink
okay.
it. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you more about the tea as we're drinking it, so you know what you're drinking.
Nice.
So the name of this tea is a pu'er tea, and it's the raw/shin type. And what it is that what makes this tea special is that it's only specific to Yunnan province in China, which is the original place where all the teas started. And it also has the most variety of tea trees and trees in the entire world.
Wow.
So it's a great place for like, just growing stuff, including tea. And what makes this tea special is that the leaves are the big tea varietal. So it's very big leaf. Yeah. Anyways,
Oh my goodness. So, and over like the amount of time you got into tea, you've been like doing your research and finding this stuff out?
yeah, in addition to doing my research, I've been talking to a lot of people within the tea industry,
Right.
and then just like learning from them, talking to them, and also getting my friends on.
Yeah.
I just love that. I love that you put your friends on tea, and
Yeah.
now I'm getting put on tea.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna give the audience and everyone a quick introduction on who our special guest Aaliyah is.
So do I do my intro?
No,
I was like,
I searched you up.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, what did you find?
Okay, so Aleeya Hutchins.
Yes.
She is a sophomore at Wake Forest from Toronto, Canada. Represent.
Yes.
And her first year at Wake Forest on the track team has been phenomenal. She helped the team to win she led the team to 3 wins, earned first team All-American at ACC with the distance medley relay. She earned 3rd place in the ACC Championship, holds the 3rd fastest 800 meter time in school history. First place in the 800 at the Bob Pollock Invitation.
He really did his research.
We got a special guest today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes.
You know I'm excited to be here, and I'm very honored that
Yeah.
you invited me on the show. So
Awesome.
excited.
So yeah, we mentioned that, well, we're both from Canada and Toronto specifically, and something that I get asked a lot at Wake Forest is, what is the difference between the culture of the U.S. and Canada? And I have a hard time answering that sometimes. So I'm interested on what your thoughts on.
Okay, so for me, I get this question a lot too. People hear you're from Canada and they're like, oh my goodness, like, you must be so nice, this, like.
Yeah.
And it is different. I feel like the culture definitely is different in the States and Canada. I'd say people are more united in Canada. I don't know if you also find that true, but I felt that way. I thought that everyone got along really well, and I haven't traveled America excessively, but being on campus, I mean, everyone is super nice, but I just get the sense that there's a lot of, like, different pockets of people and different kinds of people, and I think over here a lot of people like to keep to themselves or don't want to expand or get to know everyone or, like, expand their mind.
That is true.
And in Canada, it's different. Like, I just loved it. I feel like I could meet somebody on the street and get to know them. And you could do this here, but I felt that it was easier back home, honestly. That's what
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. You know, coming here, I thought that it would be pretty similar to Canada, but it's actually very different, surprisingly. Especially like the culture and like the whole scene with the whole, you know, this private school atmosphere.
It is, and I mean, just like American history, like we all know what went on in the summer, and just like racism. I mean, it's just like on all aspects, it's different. And on our campus, I see it a lot. It's not even just, I mean, for Black people, like it is for any marginalized community on our campus. So, and like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, us here, we're all pretty diverse.
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys feel about it too?
Right. Yeah.
Do you notice?
I did notice, like, especially like my freshman year, and also same with Prof. Like our freshman year coming here, like we all, I'm sure everyone as well, like has their own expectations of what like college would be like, especially at Wake. But it's completely different, you know, than what we think it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like coming from America, well, I'm not from America, but I lived here for a long time.
Right.
I kind of thought that Canada was kind of like almost like America in that way. Like, I feel like that might just be an American speaking.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to
hear it.
Yeah, to hear it.
And you know what? A lot of my friends are people who are international students. They're not from Canada. Like, people I'm actually really close to have been like, oh, Canada's just like America.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not. It's not. It's not. And I don't know if that's me speaking as a Canadian, like hearing what the world has to say about America. It's a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, don't bring that our way. Like, it's not like, I know we're just like across the border, but like, please don't do that.
Yeah.
No. And not in a bad way. Like, there's so many like things that I love about America too. Like, I don't know, it's more entertaining, I feel like, depending on where you go.
It's definitely diverse in the sense that you have a whole range of personalities and people that are just have extremely different perspectives on life.
For sure. I agree with that. And I mean, like, you go to like New York or LA, which are like some really cool states. I feel like those are the two common states. Everyone's like New York, LA. But I mean, it's fun to be there, and there's a lot to do. But I guess when you're more in like
a confined space.
Yeah, secluded area. Like Winston-Salem. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's different, and there's like a lot of people who are the same. I mean, the population's smaller. Where it gets larger, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people that makes it diverse, but I don't know. It's just, it's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like ultimately, I still feel like it's a great place to be because of the diversity of, you know, everyone's different perspective and mindset. Yeah. So different from like Canada. Whereas Canada, I feel like it's like, it's pretty linear.
One thing I have to agree on is that, for sure. I do agree with that. Everyone here, I feel like, has a little more to say than in Canada.
Yeah.
I feel like it's healthy to like recognize other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Even though if you don't like agree with them, it's still like good to have like a discussion.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, so let's dive into track.
Okay, track.
What made you start running track?
Okay, I started running track in the 2nd grade because I wasn't good at any other sports. And I like tried out for every other team at school, like when I was a kid, and I was like so discouraged because I just was not good at anything else.
Right.
And so then my teacher was like, I guess I complained to her. I was like, I'm not like good at anything. And she's like, well, we have track and field day coming up. And so she was like, you know, try this. And so first day was like sprints and throws. And I like still wasn't good at it. I didn't do well. And the next day I was like, you know what, I don't want to come back. I was like, Mom, can I stay home? And she's like, no, you have to go. And my teacher was like, just try the 800 and like see what it's like.
Right.
And I tried it like on this little like turf field, and I won it. And ever since, like, I've just been dedicated to it because it was like the first thing I was ever good at. I felt like that I can remember being good at in life, like just in general.
It's awesome.
And I just stuck to it.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So sticking to it paid off.
Yeah. And I joined the team in the 8th grade, like an actual team.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from track. Like, first 2 years I was kind of off and wanted to hang out with my friends. Like, I didn't really have my priorities straight.
Yeah.
And once I got into it and really tried to focus, I don't know, it just, everything fell into place, and now I'm here, and it taught me that hard work pays off, and sticking to it for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how would you describe, like, being a student athlete to a student who is not a student athlete?
Okay, I would say it's hard.
Yeah.
It definitely is. I mean, sometimes the other day I had to finish my workout, and it was like right before my next class started. I'm like sweating, tired, couldn't go back to get my laptop, like anything. And I just had to like sit in class all sweaty. I'm like exhausted, like so tired.
Wow.
And I don't know. It also teaches you time management because you have to know like when you have to be on top of things. And it kind of keeps you on your toes all the time.
Right.
But definitely exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's ongoing. Like, it's different from high school where I guess for me, I got breaks in between days. Like, I had an off day.
Right.
It's every day here. There's always something, so.
Yeah, because, like, you have school, and it's, like, it's not easy, right?
It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I find, though? I'm like, I still do have, like, a lot of free time. Because depending on how many classes I have that day, if practice is right after, I'm like, okay, now I have like the rest of the afternoon to myself, like get my stuff together, and then I'm still prepared for the next day.
Wow.
Wait, do you practice in the afternoons?
Yeah.
No
At like
way.
2 o'clock, I'm like dying. It's so hot.
I cannot even imagine.
Insane.
I was talking to a guy on the track team, and he said that, I don't know if it's just last semester, but they were practicing at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you do that too?
Country. No.
Oh.
I don't run cross country.
Okay.
Thankfully, I mean, like, everyone on the team that does cross country, I don't know how they do it. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not built for that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's crazy. Like the amount of work and just effort, because every day you have to come knowing that it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just get through it. So.
Yeah, because you have, like, school, and then you have your practice and training, and then also you obviously want to hang out with friends.
And just have like a social life. But the thing is, we realized first year, like, I felt like coming from Canada and like having to make friends, like do all this stuff, like a regular student but being an athlete at the same time.
Yeah.
I realized, I want to do regular student things, but not to say that I'm not a regular student, but it's like I feel like there's like another priority on top of school that I have to worry about. So I could not just, sometimes I want to party and like have fun and do stuff, and I realized that just like that's not something I can be doing.
It just doesn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out, and I just matured from that for sure.
Wow.
Different experiences.
Do you find it like harder to make friends like that are not on the track team?
I think this is just my personal experience. I've always kind of been like pretty outgoing, so I don't know. I don't think I think sometimes it could be harder, but we still have like regular classes and stuff, and I like to kind of go out of my way sometimes to like make friends, just because I like to meet different people, and not really like from my perspective, but I can see how it could be just depending on who you are. But yeah.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Like we met, like we didn't have any classes together, but we were in the same residence hall.
Yeah, and like, I was like, he was like, you're from Toronto. I was like, you're from Toronto? He was like, what? No way, I've never met somebody from Toronto before.
And we're the same. And we're in the same grade.
And I know, and that's so wild. And same residence hall too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, but I find that I don't have as much time to spend with, if I make friends that aren't on the team, I'm mostly always with my teammates. Like my close friend group at school is with my teammates. And I guess, I don't hang out as much with people who are on my team, because I'm always on the same schedule as them.
Exactly.
Per se.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I love to. I love doing stuff like this. Like, this is so fun. I was like looking forward to this all week. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah. I was like, tea and talking. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, what more could I want?
You're like exposing yourself to a new culture at the same time you're expressing your own culture.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And one thing I love to do is just get to know different people
Yeah.
and like what other people's interests are. So like, I don't know, this is cool to me.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's also very fascinating to, just talk to other people and then like have conversations that are like not surface or even like gossip stuff. It's just having conversations that are like meaningful, that because sometimes I feel like when you talk to people, you can learn a lot about yourself and also at the same time learning about them because you realize things that you wouldn't have thought of through these conversations.
Agreed.
And I just feel like tea is like such a good intermediate and bridge to these conversations because it physically and also mentally makes you slow down because of the brewing process, and also you just need time to enjoy it.
Right.
And it's like the perfect like starter kit.
Yeah, and everyone's like, let's go on a like have coffee or something. So here's a new coffee. You heard me. No, that's like
Aaliyah
so
said it.
cool. Like I love that. I feel like I always see people like who go out to get drinks or coffee, but like tea.
Yeah.
This is new. I like that.
Like you would never go to Starbucks and like get a tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And one thing I always do is if I get tea, it's iced tea.
Yeah.
So having hot tea is like
It's different.
is definitely different.
Yeah, because in America, that's kind of the only tea that people know is like
sweet
sweet
tea.
tea.
Sweet
Yeah.
tea, yeah. Southern style.
Whenever I say iced tea at a restaurant, I'm thinking of like Nestea iced tea.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can I have some iced tea? And they give me sweet tea, and I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted. But I learned my lesson now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's been some of your most memorable experiences during freshman year?
Okay, memorable experiences. Okay, all of first
Memorable learning experience.
learning experiences. Okay, so then first semester was definitely memorable learning experience. I was extremely homesick, and I thought I wasn't gonna be. But I just remember crying every single day.
Wow.
Like listening to music. I would go practice drained, come back, like barely do my homework. Last year was just unproductive. First semester, I should say. And then I could barely sleep at night because I just like missed being home. I missed my friends, and that was hard. But it really, all the first semester taught me how to be stronger and like really kind of build up my mentality, which led into like a good track season.
Yeah.
Because I felt like once I got over that, it took a while. But after I overcame that, everything became so easy for me. So I guess just going through that, I don't really know how it got resolved. I think I got used to being here.
Yeah.
And then I made friends and like different relationships and got like into the track and into the sport. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't really have time to think about being homesick, and now coming back, I was excited to come back instead of like thinking I was gonna dread it or something.
Wow.
So that
I feel like that's one important lesson that most college students can learn is like how to be independent and
for sure.
be yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, before I left, I would always tell myself, I was like, anybody would be like, you're gonna get homesick, you're gonna like want to go home. I was like, okay, that's not gonna happen to me. I was like, I'm so social, I'm so this, I'm like strong, and like I'm gonna be fine. And it was the opposite of that, basically.
Especially first semester.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like we all definitely have a similar experience to that, where first semester you come in and you just like dive head in and you just get lost, and then you go through a journey of like finding out like what purpose you have here, right?
Yeah.
And like what you really want to do and spend your time doing.
For sure. And I just remember first night, like my parents had left and I was in my dorm and I was walking with my roommate just around campus, and then we looked at our phones, it's like 2 a.m. and we're like, nobody's gonna tell us to go to sleep. We're like, nobody's gonna tell us to go to sleep. Like, we can just do what we want. But then it was like, it took time to figure out what were like the proper steps and everything.
Yeah.
And that was probably biggest learning experience. And then there was like smaller ones. So like, obviously, when I talk about being a student athlete, like learning what I can and can't
Yeah.
do. So like obviously there's been
You have
some
limitations,
times,
and definitely have set priorities.
yeah, where like things have happened, I'm like, okay, that's not like the best thing for me. That's not like the healthiest thing. I'm not gonna do that again. Like learning from like smaller experiences as well. And then just meeting people have it overall been learning experiences with everybody I meet, so
Yeah.
for sure.
No, absolutely, you're right. Like, I feel like, especially with student athlete, because you outside of school you already have something that you have to commit to, so it kind of helps to set yourself on like a path that you should like be following. Whereas like with students who are just like here for academics, sometimes you have so much time on a weekend, and like it's so easy to like get caught up on other things. So like I would just say like with your time right now, and also with the whole quarantine, and also just in general when you like encounter like barriers, how do you stay grounded and be in sync with your journey to success?
I right now, that's a good question. I have to, it's very strict on students and student athletes right now. Like for everybody, it's pretty strict. But as a student athlete, I would say it's like so strict because one of us gets sick, brings it to the team, like it's over for everybody.
Everyone's going back home,
And nobody wants to be the person to do that, but everyone's still trying to have like as close to a regular life as they can, and so, or as regular as last year as possible. But there's been incidences already where people have gotten in trouble and everything, and we're all learning from those experiences. But this is just, I've had conversations with my coaches. They're very insightful for me to talk to when I'm feeling like questionable or anxious right now. And it's like, okay, this is what you have to do to be on the path, on like the right path. And like I just have to follow the rules and really think about the decisions that I make. Like for example, like I want to come do this podcast, but it's like, okay, I have to ask my coaches first, like, is this okay if this is something that I do, blah blah blah, because it's so easy right now to get in trouble and then possibly like removed from the team or like getting somebody sick, whatever. But I feel like this whole situation is gonna end up being a lesson for how seriously I want to take the sport, how seriously I'm taking myself, and like all the effort I've put in.
Exactly. Because following these precautions is not just for yourself, but it's also for your team. Yeah,
for sure. And like the whole athletic department. I mean, we get tested once a week. Oh, some teams get tested twice a week. And it's like you always got to be on it. Like you could be asymptomatic, and some people could get passed by, but like we always have to be as safe as possible because you know it's not about passing by. I mean, there's people that are at risk, so it's got to be super careful.
Absolutely.
Take responsibility for sure.
Yeah. I feel like there's definitely something like all the non-student athletes can learn from the ways student athletes, go about their days at university, because there's a lot more. I feel like there's a lot more discipline and rigor being a student athlete. You're just more set in terms of like your mindset, I guess.
Right, that's oftentimes true. You know what's so funny though? I think in America this is more of a thing than in Canada.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I guess, coming out of high school want to be like student athletes. Like it's just like a thing in America, especially
really
with football. But I find that a lot of student athletes end up like it's a lot of pressure and a lot of work, and then they wonder like what it's like to be a regular student in college, and just to like relax and have fun.
Do you ever wonder that?
Last year, I think so, but that's like when I was like at the beginning, and I realized like if I want to go far, like I can't.
Like, and this is what I actually want to do.
It's for me. For some students, athletes, I think it's like a collegiate thing. It's like after college, like they want to do well in college. But for me, it's like college is a stepping stool for like after college, like Olympics and like all that kind of stuff for me.
That's really cool.
Because I always see it like it's in my grasp. It's right there. I have all the tools I need to get there.
Exactly.
I just have to put in the work. And I think if I were to miss it knowing it was right there and I didn't do everything I could possible, then it's just like it might all feel for nothing. I also try not to take it too seriously, because not too seriously, but I try to take it day by day per se.
Yeah.
Because I find that that's how a lot of people like let themselves down in life too. So I'm just working like every step of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you thinking about going to Olympics?
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
cool.
I don't think this year, but like definitely I after this year I have like 2 more Olympics where it's like my prime time. Like I'm still a little young.
Yeah.
But like the next Olympics after that and the one after that, it's like that's like
insane.
me on the line. Like
To train for the Olympics, you have to do like so much more than you're doing now.
I know. I think my coach will end up being my Olympics coach.
Okay, yeah.
He's gonna be the one that's gonna be there for me and like help me get there.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. He's just been somebody who's helped me to expand my mind and really push my limits. So I'm not sure if it'll necessarily get. You know what? It will get harder, but it'll feel the same because it'll just increase over time.
Yeah.
But
Like I feel like you're already doing the steps and laying the foundation.
yes, it's definitely a foundation kind of thing.
And it's just upping that intensity.
Right, for sure.
I think it's crazy how much like a coach can affect
It
the
is
way you
crazy.
feel about it too. Because
They
if you
can
have a
make-
bad coach, and you can just like hate it.
Yeah, they can make or break you.
Yeah.
Honestly, they really can. Like if a coach doesn't know what they're doing, if they don't want to listen to what you have to say, it can make people hate the sport. And
Right.
I'm lucky enough to have not gone through that yet. But I know so many people that have, and it's sad to see.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's sad, but I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
Some tea.
Tea time.
Tea break,
Tea break, yeah.
sip break.
All that talking, you need some hydration.
Yeah.
How do you like the tea so far?
I love it. It's just so refreshing. It's so nice. Just sit and sip tea and talk. Like I keep saying this, like I love this concept. I love this. But
I feel like
it's really great.
it's so like, because for me personally with tea is like, it's this entity that really grounds you and like allows you to tap into a more introspective mindset and where you're thinking more about the deeper questions in life and like where you want to head.
Yeah.
And like I feel like tea, that's kind of like that's like tool that I kind of use to help with that. So for you, like, do you like maybe track is how you like, I guess the question is like how do you find that, you know, that quietude in life?
Right. I honestly track.
Yeah.
No. I was gonna say, I think a lot of people think this because I'm all about track.
Yeah.
But for me, track is stressful in a sense. It's not a bad stressor. It's not something that like gets me down, but it's something that makes you feel like you're working hard. So it's not somewhere that I necessarily feel grounded. I feel grounded in a sense where I know it's my purpose.
Yeah.
An aspect of my purpose, but it can be stressful. It's something that's stressful in a way that pushes me and like helps me to grow.
Yeah.
But one thing I'd say that grounds me or makes me feel relaxed is just like listening to music like in my room, like relaxing. And I think that's for like a lot of people. I know it's kind of common, but it's just something I love to do. Like I could just like sit in my room for like hours just listening to music and not doing anything else. Like
Definitely makes you feel some type of way sometimes.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. So track, you know what? I said no, but track in one sense, and then like just music and relaxation in another.
Yeah.
But they kind of go together, because after I'm done practice, I immediately like listen to music and like let go of like whatever.
Refresh,
Like decompress.
Yeah, and stretching as well while I do that. Like I stretch for like at least an hour every day, like throughout the day. I just like make sure I'm always like letting go of like tension in my body from whatever work I did that day.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like track is like it's a especially, like events such as the 800 meters, like it's a solo event. And Prof, actually, we were talking about this just prior to this. Prof, he used to do competitive swimming in high school.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like swimming is like in this.
No big deal. No, I was kidding.
It's cool.
No, and like swimming and like track has like the similarity where you're competing.
Yeah, you're competing.
As,
Like,
like,
does it affect your team morale, like that you're competing against people on your team as well, or does it push you to?
It pushes you because you're definitely in a sense competing against them because you'll be training partners, but once you hit the track or like once you get in the pool, it's you against each other. And I say like track, swimming, and biking, it's like an individual sport unless you're doing a relay. So I know what you're saying. It's just like one of those things where you're on your
because
own.
like on my swim team there was like the two best swimmers kind of hated each other.
Wow.
But I feel like it's more healthy to like push each other. Yeah, instead of
that,
because I feel like that will hold you back.
it will. That definitely has happened a lot in high school. Right now I'm very close with all my training partners. We've never had any like negative competition or hatred, thankfully. Like, and because we all were on the DMR together, and like always we're working together to like have our end goal accomplished. But in high school is definitely more of that kind of thing. It was like people would be like, I'm better than you, this, and me personally, I guess from my perspective, I tried to stick out of it and kind of like just. It was always like a race against myself, or like competing with myself more than anybody else, or me against the clock. Because once you put your worth into other people, or if you can beat somebody or blah blah blah, as soon as they start doing better than you, you're just not gonna be able to progress.
They get let down.
You're gonna get like
because you could get a PB, but then if they beat you, then it's like,
not worth it.
Yeah,
and that's not right.
Yeah, and I feel like we should all approach life with that same attitude of like not comparing yourself to others.
I agree.
Like I feel like it's extremely like harmful to one's own growth.
It is.
Because like once you tap into the mindset of like competition and like trying to compete with others instead of focusing on yourself and just being better than who you were yesterday, it completely changes like your attitude and like how you do things.
Completely agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But like, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's one thing that is so important with like in sports and in life. But I think a lot of people pass by or don't think about enough.
Yeah.
Or they just disregard it. They always feel like everything is a competition in order to get better or be better. But it's not what's gonna make you any better.
Exactly. It's not about like, I feel like in life, if everyone works hard towards their own goal, everyone can achieve success. It's not like if you achieve success.
It just depends what success
I can't.
is.
Yeah,
To you.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a strong point. What success is.
Yeah.
It means something to everyone, I guess, different.
Definitely.
But yeah, like student athletes are often regarded as, especially in like university, college, playing like D1 athletics. They're always regarded as highly regarded, and there's also a lot of like identities and like stereotypes associated with them. So I was wondering like, what are some things that are like not often perceived about student athletes?
Okay. I agree with you on that one. A lot of people, in movies and like before coming here, like every jock or athlete is like perceived as like kind of like a douchebag, asshole, kind of like someone you don't like to be around. They all are just like mean. And coming here I was kind of scared. I was like, what are people like? And most of them are really nice. On this campus, I haven't met anyone yet that I'm not.
It's our roommate,
No problem.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on the podcast with us today, but he has like a scholarship.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No, but I haven't met anybody as yet that like I haven't been like friends with or not friends with, but any problems with.
You guys?
I don't know. There's a lot below the surface, probably.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people work hard, so then sometimes their ego or success might get ahead of them, and that's like one of the things that I noticed if anybody's ever been like the typical jock kind of thing.
Right.
But a lot of people are pretty nice, and one thing I try to do is people will be like, you seem like you would be like mean or something, or
Right. Or very exclusive
conceited
something.
or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know if it's because I came from Canada, but I've always just been the kind
Represent.
of person to just be like, hey, like, how are you? This. Like, I don't know. That's not like the main thing I want to be like known for, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I just
feel
be
you.
known for being like a nice, like, decent person.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wow. So interesting. But sorry if there's like background noise. The class just pulled up beside our tent. Well, Aaliyah, this has been an incredible, just sitting down, having the time to chat with you and having tea together. We really appreciate you for coming out today to join some tea.
I'm so thankful.
Yeah. We wish you the best for the rest of your semester, and you represent Canada, and we represent Canada on campus. Yeah.
I'm meeting you as like the other Canadian on campus. I was like, yeah, everybody probably thinks we're so nice. But it's really nice to meet you too. And
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, like I feel like I had a great time, and after this is done, we can probably just
Just talk. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me like talk about my experiences.
No, I wish like we could be in like a more intimate setting, so that I have the time to like dive way deeper and like way beyond,
Sure.
Maybe perhaps when
We
COVID.
can make it a part 2.
Yeah, we'll make it exactly. We'll make it part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you're very like special because you're the first one on this new series of Athletes in Tea. Yeah.
I'm so happy about that. Like, you have no idea.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty successful too.
I think it went great. Like there's not much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.